Meet Hannah. She's the kind of person who wants change so badly that she'll throw away a donut the very second after buying it, just to keep herself from temptation. She tracks every meal, logs every step, and watches the scale like a hawk. But no matter what she does, that number refuses to move. It sits there stubbornly at around 83 kilos. So she decides to start fresh. New program, new mindset, new goal. She wants to reach 60 kilos, which means losing roughly 20. It's a big mountain to climb, but Hannah is nothing if not determined. Chasing that goal naturally leads her to the gym, where she meets a woman named Alanya. Alanya works the front desk, but she's also a trainer, and she runs a 12-week challenge designed to push people toward their goals. She invites Hannah to sign up. At first, Hannah wants nothing to do with it. She's insecure, uncomfortable in her own skin, and she hates the idea of sweating in front of strangers. But Alanya has a way of getting under your defenses, and before long, Hannah finds herself genuinely excited to try. Now here's a detail that matters. Hannah isn't just a gym regular. She's a medical student, and on this particular day, she and her classmates are about to examine a real human cadaver. The body assigned to Hannah belonged to an obese woman named Bertha. Everything seems routine until Hannah notices something strange. Bertha's fingernails have turned a sickly shade of blue. The sight rattles her so badly that she makes a mistake during the examination. And the reason it shakes her to her core is chillingly simple. Her own nails are exactly the same shade of blue. Back home, Hannah scrubs the polish off immediately, as if trying to erase the resemblance. Later, while taking out the trash, curiosity pulls her toward the dark, shadowy corner of the building's garbage disposal area. It's the kind of small, ominous moment that tells you this story is about to take a very dark turn. That night, Hannah goes out to a bar with friends, and they notice a striking woman across the room who can't seem to take her eyes off Hannah. Feeling self-conscious, Hannah tries to ignore her, but when she slips away to the restroom, the woman follows. Hannah doesn't recognize her at all until the stranger reveals that her name is Melissa, and the two of them went to high school together. The moment it clicks, all of Hannah's walls come down. For Melissa, the reunion runs even deeper. She remembers Hannah as the only person who ever showed her real kindness back when no one else would. Melissa can see that Hannah is struggling with her weight because she's walked that exact road herself. So she shares a secret. There's a pill out there called Gray. It's expensive, almost unbelievably so, but according to Melissa, the results speak for themselves. She admits she didn't believe in it either, not until she saw the proof with her own eyes. And as a gesture of friendship, she hands Hannah a single pill for free. Hannah, ever the skeptic and ever the scientist, doesn't trust anything that hasn't been through a lab. So Melissa pulls out an old photo of her heavier self, evidence of just how dramatically the pill transformed her body. That's all the convincing Hannah needs. Her obsession with becoming thin overrides every ounce of caution she has, and she swallows the pill right there. Melissa even gives her another one for the next day, and the two of them lose themselves in the fun of the night. The next morning is where the cracks begin to show. Hannah wakes up and hears a noise drifting from the kitchen, but she shrugs it off. Then glancing at a reflection on a metal surface, she catches the outline of a naked man standing in her room. When she turns to look, there's nobody there. What she does find is far stranger. Leftover food is scattered everywhere, the remnants of some midnight feast she has absolutely no memory of eating. She doesn't even realize she's the one who devoured it, and it frustrates her because this is exactly the kind of thing that's been sabotaging her diet. But then she steps onto the scale, and her frustration evaporates. After a single pill, she's already a full kilo lighter. Still, Hannah hesitates before taking the second one. She wants to know what these pills cost, and the answer floors her. $5,000 each. Being a medical student doesn't make her rich, so for now, that price tag keeps the pills out of reach. She tucks the idea away and goes to visit her parents. Hannah is an only child, and when she arrives, she finds her mother setting up security cameras around the house. It also happens to be Hannah's birthday, so the two celebrate together, complete with a strange-looking cake made without sugar, butter, or flour. Her mother fully supports the diet. Hannah even takes a quiet moment to light incense at the family altar for her late grandparents. The next day, Hannah still hasn't touched Melissa's second pill, but the curiosity is eating at her, so she uses the university's equipment to analyze exactly what's inside. Her friend Joshi is convinced it's just some kind of street drug. Hannah only wants the truth. When the results come back, they're unsettling. The pill is loaded with sodium and potassium, and the vast majority of it is calcium phosphate. And that's when the horrifying realization sets in. These pills are made from human ashes. The strange part is that something that high in sodium should be making her hungrier, not thinner. Then comes the moment that changes everything. Back in the lab, Hannah is assigned to remove Bertha's ribs during the examination. After class, she lingers until she's the last one in the room. An idea has taken hold of her, a truly disturbing one. If the pills are made from human remains, then she can make her own for free using Bertha's bones. So she grinds those ribs into a fine ash, and she documents the entire process like the diligent student she is. Then she swallows her very first homemade pill, and that's where the trouble begins. This is saccharin. Almost immediately, her stomach roars with hunger, but she resists, choosing to sleep it off instead. From here, her life settles into a rhythm. She trains hard at the gym, runs, climbs endless stairs, studies relentlessly, and takes one of her ash pills every single day. And the weight melts away, even though she's been eating carelessly at night. It's as if the food simply vanishes from her body, but the pills bring company. One evening, while boiling water, Hannah spots a figure reflected in the kettle. She turns and no one's there. She writes it off as a possible side effect, a hallucination. The figure keeps returning, though, growing closer each time, always visible only in the curved reflection of objects like kettles and spoons. A flat mirror shows nothing. When she finally studies the reflection in a spoon, the shape sharpens into something recognizable. It's Bertha. Meanwhile, her mother sends a photo of Hannah's father, who has become so severely obese he can barely walk. The fear of ending up like him pushes Hannah even harder. Her progress becomes so dramatic that Alanya proudly posts it on social media. And in just 7 weeks, Hannah drops below 60 kilos, hitting the target she set out to reach. Her cheeks are hollow, her body transformed. But not everyone is impressed. Alanya grows concerned, even alarmed. The weight loss is too fast, too extreme. She suspects Hannah is starving herself or taking some kind of dangerous shortcut. Hannah denies it, but the accusation stings, and instead of celebrating her hard work, Alanya's worry leaves her feeling rejected and hurt. Spiraling, Hannah buys a pile of junk food, then stops herself thinking of Alanya. That's when the supernatural truly takes over. A piece of chocolate floats through the air toward her, then another. Then every bag of food she brought home lifts off and drifts her way, and a ravenous hunger overtakes her until she devours all of it. As the days pass, the haunting intensifies. Hannah wakes in the kitchen to find the fridge emptied, food gone, eaten in her sleep. She researches the medical explanation for sleep eating, then pivots to something far darker, the supernatural. She confronts Melissa with the truth about the ashes, and Melissa admits she once felt watched in the night too, but those feelings stopped the moment she quit the pills. The trouble is, Hannah has already stopped taking hers, and the horror hasn't stopped at all. So she gets a medical scan, which reveals a small, benign tumor on her pancreas. The exact same spot, it turns out, where Bertha's cancer once grew. The doctor brushes off any connection to her sleepwalking, but Hannah isn't convinced. Something deeper is at play. The nights become unbearable. Hannah refuses to go home, hiding in the library, fighting sleep, terrified of what she becomes when she loses consciousness. Her right eye twitches on its own, a warning that Bertha is trying to take control. A chair gets yanked out from under her by an unseen force. When she seeks comfort at Alanya's place, she wakes in the middle of the night to find Alanya's kitchen destroyed and the food gone, with no way to explain any of it. The truth becomes impossible to ignore. No matter where Hannah runs, Bertha follows, always lurking in the curved reflections, always growing closer. And Hannah finally understands the cruel logic of her curse. The more she eats, the thinner she gets, because Bertha absorbs everything she consumes, swelling larger and larger. The ghost is feeding through her. Desperate for answers, Hannah digs into Bertha's past and tracks down her younger sister. The sister paints a heartbreaking picture. Bertha was healthy until a pancreatic tumor was found, the same diagnosis Hannah now carries. Bertha spent her life caring for everyone but herself, and when stress overwhelmed her, she ate, which is how she became obese. Hannah realizes she has to give back what she stole, so she rushes home for the leftover ashes, only to find her mother has thrown them out. She recovers them from the trash, but the hunger is already clawing at her, and Bertha is closing in. Back home, her mother discovers the X-ray, and as they look, the image on the scan darkens before their eyes. The benign tumor has turned malignant. Then comes a knock at the door, and Bertha makes her presence violently known, hurling Hannah's mother backward and tearing through the house. Hannah gets her mother to safety, but Bertha catches her, slamming her down and pinning her with crushing, invisible weight. In sheer desperation, Hannah grabs oven cleaner and drinks it, which somehow forces Bertha to release her before she throws it back up. By now, Hannah has pieced together a terrifying plan. Her tumor grew in the exact same place as Bertha's, and she believes the pills caused it. If she can remove the tumor, maybe she can end the haunting. Waiting months for a real surgeon isn't an option. She doesn't think she'll survive that long. So she steals a staff key card, meets Joshi at the cadaver lab, and locks herself inside, keeping Yoshi nearby only in case she bleeds out. Then she injects herself with insulin to drop her blood sugar and lure Bertha out, lying down beside the corpse. What follows blurs the line between nightmare and reality. The bed seems to swallow her. Plastic wraps around her body, and she finds herself back in that dark garbage area from the very beginning. Alone, numb to all pain, with her own insides already rotting like Bertha's, Hannah begins cutting into herself to extract the tumor. Bertha emerges from the shadows, drawing closer as Hannah races against time. She manages to pull the tumor free, but Bertha doesn't vanish. The ghost seizes her, bites down on her arm, and everything goes black. When Hannah comes to, Joshi is at her side, having saved her from the wound she carved into her own stomach. Eventually, Bertha's body is cremated along with the others. And for the first time in a long time, Hannah believes the horror is finally behind her. She believes her life can start over. She goes to see Alanya, bringing food to make up for the mess she left behind, and to apologize for vanishing without a word. Alanya forgives her, they reconnect, and Hannah lets herself imagine a happy future at last. But this story was never going to let her off that easily, because the chilling truth is revealed in the final moments. Hannah murders Alanya. All this time, Hannah never actually loved Alanya. What she wanted was to become her. The hunger had won completely, and there was never any saving her. And on that horrifying note, the story comes to its end. So the moral of the story is, never trust a diet pill so expensive it costs more than your rent, especially if the secret ingredient sounds like it came from a funeral.